All kind of people should get together. With small kind of people should get together and talk to each other.
Good evening. Hello again. This is Positive Choices, and I'm MT Love. Today, we're going to celebrate Women History Month. And my guest is Deborah Oguamah, and she's one of my idols because she does so much for the community, and she also has people that she looks up to, and we're going to talk about that today. Good evening, and thank you for coming, Deborah.
It's a real pleasure to be back again on your show. I am so happy and honored to be here. I can remember the first time I was here, you had me on your show to introduce Kwanzaa into the Parkchester community, and that went so well, and I got a very good response. And today, we're celebrating over 5 years of Kwanzaa in the Parkchester community. And the second time you had me on your show was when we did a showcase about green markets here in the New York City area. And you played another pivotal role in introducing and helping the people to understand and know how important it is for fresh fruits and vegetables. So I was able to, again, get your support and others to placing a green market in the Parkchester community, and it's going strong. This would be, I believe, the fifth, over 5 years. I'm very happy and grateful. So, Mother Love, here we are once again, and now the subject is Women's History Month.
Yes.
So honored.
Okay. So who do you admire in woman history?
Well, the first woman in my life, of course, I have to really give honor not only to my mother, but also to my grandmother who recently passed away, Maddie Womack. She was an inspiration to me to be more community-minded, more civic-minded, and, you know, just being a real support to a lot of causes in my community. And politically, the woman that truly inspired me was the first time that I met Shirley Chisholm in Washington, D.C., and right after that, that was during the time that she had ran for presidency. And because I am so vocal in politics in my community on a local level and also throughout the country in the past couple of years, a lot of people should also do some more research about Shirley Chisholm because her campaign was one of not being compromised. I believe she said she didn't have to be bought or sold in order to have integrity, in order to do her job in the community and also representing our nation as well. So those are my idols. Those are the women that I look up to.
Who did she run against? Do you know? Must have been man.
No, I'm not quite sure
Okay.
on who she ran against.
Okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So who's the other person?
So the other person that I would like to speak about today, because there's a lot of the movie on Selma and our president reenacting those civil rights leaders that crossed the Emmett Pettus Bridge in Selma, that right there alone being very historical within itself, that we have a black president and other leaders from all over the country to come together to commemorate 50 years of the civil rights movement by crossing that bridge once again. And there are a lot of unsung heroes with the civil rights movement, but I would like to emphasize a little bit about a woman that played a tremendous role in that, and her name was Amelia Boynton. Amelia Boynton-Robinson. She was one of the first women to be publicized and televised throughout the entire country on her role in crossing that bridge. So I would like to just get into a little bit about her information and share that with others. She was the first to. There were there was 3 marches crossing the bridge, but the first march, which, as we all know, was known as the Bloody Sunday. The first march took place on March the 7th, 1965. Amelia Boynton was led by John Lewis. A lot of people know and recognize John Lewis. He is still a member of a political member of our Congress today. And it also included others like Rosa Parks, among others that had marched across the bridge. This event was known as Bloody Sunday. The march gained this nickname, Bloody Sunday, after 600 marchers were attacked crossing the Emmett Pettus Bridge after leaving Selma, Alabama. State troopers and others, they posed to attack the marchers with billy clubs and tear gases. Boynton was one of those that was beaten unconscious, and her picture as she lied there on the streets was really publicized and televised throughout the country. The troopers dragged her on the side of the road and they left her for dead. So when others from the march tried to go and aid her, they were told just to leave her alone. So one of the members in the march went up to the sheriff, and the sheriff, his name was Jim Clark, and they told Jim Clark, can we call an ambulance? We have to call someone in order to remove her from the road. And his response was, he was very less sympathetic with her. He said, if she's dead, you need to leave her alone and let the buzzards eat her. Amelia Boynton helped to galvanize hundreds of activists to crossing the Emmett Pettus Bridge on March the 7th in 1965. The violence of the Bloody Sunday, it left the nation again kind of, frozen, because a lot of people even at that time really couldn't believe what they were seeing with the tear gas and the dogs and everything else. People, again, against the march was initiated by the police brutality that was happening in Alabama at the time. And again, today what's going on in our headlines today. So that's why I feel that this is really monumental in speaking about it today. This was an act of civil disobedience. It was targeted with the Alabama state troopers and also the federal government. The protesters demanded for the Selma marchers to help them, again, with the new federal voting rights law that can enable, at that particular time, African Americans to register to vote without being harassed. We know in those days a lot of people actually did die in order for us to have the right to vote, but a lot of people were turned away. Even my own grandmother and my own mother also had told me stories that when they went to the voting polls that they had to read a paragraph or they had to write a paragraph in order for them to vote. A lot of times they were told that the Board of Elections were closed or that there were no workers there. They gave them any excuse in order for them not to vote. So that's why